I kept going back down there with him. We'd hear strange noises, couldn't tell what it was. Soon we leave, but nothing followed us in, but something was trailing us out. When you'd walk, it'd walk. When you stop, it'd stop. And one guy said, "Hey, is that old Howler up your way?" Me and the rest looked at each other. Howler? As time went, I found out what the Howler was. It was the Bigfoot.
This is the Cryptid Creature Show. I am Brian, and with me, as always, right over there, is my co-host Todd. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, we have another good episode today, as always, as you know.
Every time.
And I wanted to let the listeners know that if you're enjoying the episodes and you really like the podcast, go to our website, become a member, and you guys can get extra episodes. You can also go to our Patreon and sign up, and you can get those episodes video version, and you can watch us as we record with
That's right.
The guests. So just want to put that out there. But tonight's guest is Rich, and Rich is from Ohio.
Ohio Rich.
And as you know, David Walker, who was a prior guest who had the when he was scared by the Bigfoot when he came out of the tent, he got us in touch with Rich. So Rich is going to come on and talk about some very strange and different things that he's encountered there in Ohio.
Sounds exciting.
All right, you ready?
Yep, let's get him.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Todd and Brian from the Cryptid Creature Show.
Hey, Todd, how you doing?
Good. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing, Brian? Didn't get to talk to you, but I guess
No, not yet, but we're going to tonight. Yep.
Yeah. That's good.
All right.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Good to be asked to come on your show. And like I said, this is the first time I got to talk on a pod thing, and or talk to the public on this type of thing. And,
well, we appreciate you being here. We know you've had a lot of interaction with Bigfoot, maybe Dogman, and other creatures. Why don't you take us back to the first encounter you had and start from there, and just tell us what happened?
Well, it started out, I was 10 years old, actually, and there's some people who moved across the street in Bremen, that's about where I live, and where I grew up, where we kind of adopted one another, because, like I said, I was adopted off at the age of 2, and I was abused at the age of 5, and pretty bad, and had to get out of there, but during the time, I was 10 years old, my brother Rusty, he was 5 years older than me, and he said, "Hey, I want you to come and hear something." Okay. So we got up on the railroad tracks, and we was walking for a little while, and got to the bridge. We climbed up over it and sat down on this big sandstone pillar over the creek. And I said, "So what are we going to listen to?" And he goes, "Here, just after a bit, man, you're going to have to be quiet." He said, "Don't say a word, just be quiet." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And well, it just, it seemed like a couple hours went by, and my legs are numb. You know how that is. I looked at him again. I said, "Hey, Rusty," I said, "what is it?" He goes, "Man, shut up." He said, "Man, let's just be quiet." I said, "Okay." And about 15 minutes later, you heard this big cracking, and trees being, broken and cracked and thrown around. And I was like, "What the fuck is that thing?" And he said, "That's what I was talking about. Just be quiet, just listen." And next thing you know, you heard this big splash up in front of us on the creek, up around the bend. You couldn't see what jumped in the water, and I was like, "Wow, man!" I said, "What, a cow jump in there or something?" It was giant orange splash, and he said, "No," he said, "I don't know what it is." He goes, I've been hearing this for a while." And I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "There's something else I want to show you too when we leave here." And I go, "Okay." We walked off the bridge, and he took me to this other place, and he goes, look at these symbols in the woods here, Rich." "Yeah, it's kind of unique." I said, "Did people make them?" He said, "No." He said, "I come through here every once in a while." And he said, "They just showed up." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." And what I know now, what I didn't know then, the structure was actually wood talk, what the Bigfoot communicates. And as time went on, he said, "Hey, there's a place I want you to see too." Really? He said, "Yeah, I was with a group of people coming back from Logan." He said, "I want you to go with me." And so I said, "Okay." We got on got on our bicycles and rode from Fairfield County into Hawking County, and we went to this place. I mean, when I got in there, I was like, wow. It was like literally like the land of the lost. You just have to see the place. Even the professional wildlife photographer Todd Poling, when he first saw it, he was stoned too. He said, "Boy," he said, "everywhere I look, it's almost like a Hallmark picture." It's the place has been preserved since time. It gives back with Civil War time too. It ties with it. But he said, I want to show you this place. And I said, okay. And like I said, it's beautiful and everything. And I kept going back down there with him, and we'd hear strange noises. Couldn't tell what it was. And like I said, soon we leave, and nothing followed us in, but something was trailing us out. When you'd walk, it'd walk. When you stop, it'd stop. And here's my bike is. And he goes, "Remember the old stories? Like when we had that our first job there at the feed mill?" I go, "Yeah." He said, it all started with we had a job there, sweeping dust off the conveyors to keep the spark down and cause a fire. And our pay for the day was a bottle of pop and a bag of peanuts. And we sat down there in the mill and heard these old men up there cackle, telling stories and stuff, whatnot. And one guy said, "Hey, Clarence." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Is that old Howler up your way?" Me and the rest look at each other. Howler? What the hell's a howler? It must be some kind of mad dog they're talking about or something. And we didn't know. And as time went, I found out what the howler was. It was the Bigfoot. Every 3 years or so, it'd come through the county, and he said you could always tell. He said because my neighbor's cows would be over at my place in the barn. You know, the cows all moving, everything's just turmoil and that's how they knew. And so as time went, I went over there, and I saw a deep impression. Something big going through there. Oh wow, something big and heavy going through here. And like I said, as time went, my brother Rusty died, and we kind of made a note to one another. This was not for money at all. This was a hobby. We started a hobby in this. We swore not to make any money off of it. And I'll keep my promise with him. So now, I wish you'd have been there to see the adult male Bigfoot. Magnificent. I saw him at the age of 13, standing on the other side of the waterfall by a big giant oak tree. And his back was facing me when I saw him when I was coming up the other side of the hill, looking across over the fall area. And I was, just very scared to death. I hunkered down there, and I finally just snuck out of there. Hoping it didn't see me, but what I know now, that I didn't know then, he knew I was there. It's strange, to know that now, but they never, the whole time, but I've never been bothered by him. And I started researching the Bigfoot in Fairfield County, and then I moved into Perry County researching because that's where I was following. And then it's backtracked and going around, back into Hawking, going into Hawking County out of Fairfield. And so for the past going on 53 years, I've been researching and documenting the Bigfoot and trying to get even a glimpse again of the Ohio Grassman. And he's really elusive. He's not like the Bigfoot. He is really elusive because, like I said, if you've seen the picture, it took 45 years to get a picture of him. And that's when I could tell the people around me. I said, I told you, I proved to you that there's two different species of these critters, and there's one, the southeastern Ohio Bigfoot. He's big, hairy, he's longer hair, and the grass man, he has short hair. He's a little hair longer than a horse hair, and but uh, muscle volume. I mean, it's just like I said, like like 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger standing there. You know, it's a giant. But he has our nose, basically, you know, our eyes. His from his nose down, it's I would say monkey, but not monkey. You just have to see it. Really unique. I've been trying to find his tracks for a long time, but he's like I said, I was a professional man tracker in the military. And, that was one of my jobs, and he's a pretty elusive critter. And but I see the Bigfoot use more than I do ever see an adult, and I've only seen an alpha male twice in my life. One was in Hawking County, and the other one was at we just become friends. A new acquaintance friends, Kane Michael. He's a good researcher. He's a good man. I like taking him out in the field with me, and his partner Eric too. They're really good trackers, and he's invited me over to his house, and look at the wood top that he has placed at his property. I'm trying to read the signs for him because I've been reading these what people call structures. Actually, it's wood talk. I've been studying that for, like I said, all my life, and it's a language, and there's several symbols, hundreds of symbols. What they call ground talk, and there's mid talk, and high talk. That's what I call it. The ground talk is like a shorthand, and it's like to make it simple. Basically, there's three Bigfoot families in Hawking. There's three Bigfoot families in Fairfield, and three in Perry. Like I said, I've been doing it 50 years, and
you're in Ohio, right? You're talking about Ohio.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yes. And Hawking County, Ohio. They're on their wood talk. What I call a shorthand. Say if, for instance, I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. Say you and a group of people, you know, really good friends, and you're at this soiree per se, and you decide, you look at your missus and say, hey, you ready to leave? Well, we don't have to tell everybody we're leaving. We're just going to go. And that's when the male just leaves, and he leaves ground talk for the female and the youth to follow, not everybody else. And what would I call it? And mid talk is the stick structures that you see around that people mostly see. You know, the big X's and whatnots, and some stuff that they can't explain that Mother Nature didn't do. That's wood talk, and then there's high talk. Usually where they place a log up in the tree, or like I've seen, I got pictures of it, where they've taken a whole entire pine tree, ripped it out of the ground, and shoved it upside down up against another tree, the whole entire tree. Quite impressive. Like I said, they're I see them not quite a bit, but I see them every now and then. And but the signs out there that I'm reading, they're it's saying basically leave, going away type. And there's something out there that's in Hawking that's pushing the Bigfoot closer to more human interaction, because there's something out there.
You're listening to the Cryptid Creature Show. If you're a fan of the show, go and check out our new Patreon site. You'll get access to our private Discord server, exclusive merchandise, access to all live streams and Q&As, discounts on merch from the Cryptid Creature store, and get a chance to be a guest host during one of the show's recordings. Just go to www.patreon.com/cryptidcreatures1. Thank you for listening and supporting the show.
I don't know what it is. I'm currently tracking, and researching, believe it or not, a 3-clawed dog pad like a human foot thing, and a 4-clawed pad human foot thing like, and now a 6-clawed human foot, and which of course I sent a couple of pics to you, Todd, and your partner, on the 4-clawed human foot that you
yeah, we got those. Yeah, we got those. Yeah, very interesting.
And then I also sent you a big track of a. He's he's like a dog, man, but he's bigger. He has a horse neck like on him.
Yeah, we'll post those pictures when we release your episode. We'll post those out there on our group for people to see.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that. It's a really, really weird print. I've never seen 4 toes like that before.
Yeah, there's no pad. It's just like cut the toes off the human foot, but the human foot's wider and bigger, and just stick claws on the end of it. And it's not a double-step bear track. You can plainly see that. And you can see the dermal ridges on the side of the foot. It's just, and the claws are too straight. Black bear claws curve inward with a round pad. There's no round pad for divot or anything like that, or pads where the claws come out. These claws come right out of the end of the human foot. And where I poured it, this thing has leaped the creek, the whole length of the creek, the width of the creek, in one jump. And like I said, I probably don't even want to see what this critter looks like. I've already seen enough. I've had this so-called dogman critter. He's convened in my life in the last 4 or 5 years now. He's done damage on our property. I don't know if I crossed boundaries or I don't know what the symbols for what the dogman is out there because I haven't seen any, and I don't know, like the Bigfoot, they put X's up to stay out, but this thing followed me home, and I don't have the displeasures of dealing with this critter. Just a roar, loud, wake you. Just the sound to tell you how powerful he is. The sound, 40 feet behind our cabin, there's a little plateau up there. That's where he roared from. Well, from there down to our cabin is 40 feet. Now we got a military canvas over the back of our overbuilt that's over our camper on the backside, shielding the wind. The sound traveled through it, went through our camper, and then went through the wall of our cabin, which was about a foot thick, and through the stone wall in front of where the wood burner is. I got stone walls on both sides of the walls there where the wood burner set. They went through that and went across the floor and vibrated my skin on my body. And like I said, it's just it's such a free. And I had the pleasures of capturing him on film. He came walking right. My wife was in the camper part sleeping in the master bedroom, and the next thing you know, she come out. I said, "What's the matter with you?" She said, "Something growled at me outside the camper bedroom window, and it was above the window, growling down at it." I go, "Well, that sounds right." And it was just a growl, but my neighbor heard it. It scared him to death. He was outside of my door when I got up in the morning. I came out. I was already up for 2 days because I thought I knew something big was going to come through. And I told him, I said, "Hey, just keep your ears toned and for something to come through because there's nobody out there at the campsite, at the time. It's desolate. But something's coming through the national forest there." And about 7:45, almost 8 o'clock in the morning, I step out the door, with a cigar and my coffee. And unbeknownst to me, there's my neighbor looking up at me. And he's saying, "Bet we got to talk right now." I go, "What's up?" He said, "Man, did you hear that?" And I go, "Hear what?" He goes, "Oh, come on, man." He said, "Man, the whole town of Logan could have heard that son bitch from here." I said, "Buddy, I've been up for a couple of days. I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't get a chance to hear it." And he said, "But daggone." I said, "Well, I had my camera out there recording." He said, "You did?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Buddy, Richard, I'll tell you." He said, I got up in the middle of the night. I got a cigarette, some water, and I went to reach for the opening the camper door. He said, I got about open about 6 to 10 inches, man, and a roar hit me in the chest. He said, I leaped back and I grabbed my handgun. He said, I was afraid for my life. He said, I thought I was going to get eaten any minute. He said, it was going to be really ugly. And he's also a veteran, too. Just came back from Iraq and Fallujah. That scared him to death. He hasn't come back to the campsite to stay any evening, any time. So, like I said, this critter, and I've done a study on this thing, and he's not my forte at all. I think gives me a willy. The Bigfoot in the grass people was my forte, and I guess in the legislature, it's on the books. Alexander the Great and his pupil Aristotle talk about this critter, the horseneck dog man. And I go, really? Well, that's what I got here. And then after reward, I went out, me and the neighbor looking around, and he left one track, and I got the board. And I got the picture where he walked. I didn't even hear him. He came up behind. I was sitting in the sunroom with my feet just hanging outside onto the top step, and looking in one direction. And he came up behind me, up on the back side of the driveway. And when he stepped behind me, his shadow. I had the blinds up on this side, but I had the blinds down on the other side, and his shadow cast behind me straight across to the blinds in front of me. His shadow was at the top of almost at the top of the blind. So I did measurements out there for a shadow outside going down the driveway from our cabin. The last window where he first walked up on. I'm 6'3", and the window is above my head, and to cast his shadow across there, it was 9-10 foot, easy, and I never heard this thing.
Wow!
Like I said, and I found out why. That he can be totally stealthy, because not like a dog pad. His pads are just as soft as the pad just below your thumb. He has collapsible pads. That's why he can walk across gravel and sticks and stuff like that, and this person not make any sound. Like I said, and it's like the other dog man critter that I ran into, wiry black, big oval chest on him, hands about the size of tennis rackets, and claws on him. And then I got another type that I got a picture of. He's some kind of a dog man I've never seen. I caught him just coming off all fours. He's getting ready to run, but you can see him pretty good, and the muscles on him. He ain't got no tail either. The muscles on him was like a big giant bodybuilder, type, but bigger. And he's about almost 7 feet long, 7 feet tall, probably. But heavily muscular. I've never seen that type. But mostly, like I said, the Bigfoot is my forte. And like I said, through the 53 years I've been doing this, I'm not even wanting to say I'm the luckiest person in the world. I'm basically the unluckiest, because I've captured so many things out there, and the whole time, I thought the other researchers out there had the same stuff I did, because my stuff wasn't my research that I did in 53 years was not meant for the public at all, because I know what the public is. I mean, well, you got your pros and your cons out there, and if you have too much evidence of something that's really, really good, I mean, clear, you can see it really good, and it's too good, and it's a fake. It don't matter what you say down there. So I didn't venture into the market of the public on this. I just kept it 53 years. My wife didn't even know I did Bigfoot until 10 years after we were married. I never told anybody, not anybody I went to school with, nobody. Just me and Rusty, and then, because that's the way it was, and I was just saving this for, my wife and just close friends and the grandkids. And a picture leaked out. Now everybody wants to see what I got. So I'm for the first time. Thanks for you inviting me on the show from David Walker, hooking up with him, the author. He's putting me in his book as we speak, writing about me. And like I said, it's just when people out there say, "Show me a picture." Okay, well I did that. I showed the public a picture, and I threw a growl of a Bigfoot in there, or a dog man, one or two. It's just as a bonus, just to say, "Here, is this good enough for right now?" Because I have tons of material, tons actually, and it's just how am I going to get this out here to the public? And because I'm not really a public person, because I'm not on the internet, I don't want to be. I ain't got one of them dumb phones, what they call a smartphone. You can't text me. I got an old dinosaur flip phone. And like I said, I'm extreme when I go out there. Sometimes I stay out there 3-4 days, maybe longer. Sometimes I'm in one spot the whole entire time. Spring, summer, winter, fall. You know, I've heard some people in different groups talk one time throughout the years. One said, "Yeah, I think we're going to wait till the weather changes before I get out there and start really getting into it." I'm like, "Well, the Bigfoot ain't waiting for the weather to change." What's the difference? That's basically when he shines. He really loves the cold, and but he don't move around when there's snowfall on the ground. He'll inadvertently find bear patches on the mountainside, just that, and traverse through that instead of going through the snow. But as cold as it is, the better they like it, and so is that dogman critter. And but now I look back on it, and it's like here recently. Not only have I proved that there was two different species, southeastern Ohio Bigfoot and the southeastern Ohio grassman, I've also captured two other critters. I'm not saying what they are. I've heard people tell me it was a Gugwe or Janosqua or something like that, and I don't know what it is. All I know was I was at the cabin, and it was late at night, and again, almost around 3 o'clock, and I was awoken by the most ungodly howling I've ever heard in my life. And I've been on 3 continents on this blue marble, and I never heard anything like it. It sounded like a man wolf, whining, in pain, basically. I got my camera, went out onto the lower deck of our cabin, because they got an upper deck too, it's a 15 by 25 deck up to the trees, and I looked to the right, and I took my camera, and I'm zooming across the valley over there, and there's these, once again, I didn't think I was going to see, there's some kind of dogman critter, on all fours, and then I saw, like, sort of like a human figure in with the trees with these things, and it was loud, I mean loud, roaring, whining, or howl, whatever this thing is, and then as I'm focusing on that, across the way over there, there's a security light. Only one in the whole valley over there. And something blocked the security light out. I went, what? What a tree fall? I didn't hear it. I was looking over there. What caused the light to blink? And security light to flash. And oh my God! I started zooming up. I go, I'm going to get the one of the best Bigfoot videos of all time. I can't wait. I'm zooming up at him. This thing stepped off the high road down on the lower ground, and his head about bumped the security light. And I've had this documented. I had a guy from the History Channel named Bob. He come out. Another Bob as well. I brought out there too. But I had another Bob from History Channel come out, and he seen the video. He said, "This was zoomed across there." I said, "Correct." And we went over, and we measured it off, and we went down a few more inches lower from what you see in the film. He measured 13 feet 5 inches tall. It wasn't a Bigfoot, as much as I'd love it. It was a Gugwe Janosqua thing. It was he has the same height, the same girth, the same everything as a Bigfoot, but he has this thing has like a lion-like face that I saw, and has fangs. And when I zoomed up to him, he saw me. And as soon as I'm zooming up, he saw me across the way. As soon as he raised his head up to be looking straight at me, he showed me his fangs. He didn't growl. He didn't roar. He just showed me his fangs. I went, oh, man, damn. So I took the camera, went back into the cabin, and I stuck the camera up in the window. I was like, yep, boop, there it is. I went and got the AK-47, got my bowie, and I sat in the middle of the cabin waiting for this thing to come. It would have been ugly if he did. I mean, like I said, you had to see what I saw, and I thought he was coming at me. And maybe them dog critters, I don't know. I just knew that when it saw me and I saw him, we locked eyes, and then he showed me his fangs, and I darted in the cabin. I thought, well, here it comes. I'm going to end up on a milk carton tonight, and nobody around. You can't make a phone call. There's no signal. You could shoot a gun off, nobody won't hear you.
Rich, you were talking about this creature being like a googly or something like that.
Well, see, I'm not going to label it, Todd. The only reason why, because if I label something, see, this is the first time I'm being out with my material. I'm not going to really label it because I don't know what it is.
Right.
And when I first heard when somebody said that's a gugwe or it's a genosco, I'm like, you mean this damn thing's got a name? I've been out there 53 years in 3 damn counties. I've seen the Bigfoot. I've seen the alpha male. I've seen the youth. I've never seen a female though. But got a picture of the grass man, you know, rarity. And now I got this critter. And I go, this somebody's got a name? Come on.
We've heard him talk about those before. They're almost like they're a Bigfoot, but maybe in a baboon kind of head. I know you said what you saw
Right.
was like a lion, but they're talking about these being like more of a baboon type Bigfoot.
Well, this one didn't. But I've heard other people say that they're like different faces on this thing. Well, the one I saw looked like a female lion. And unbeknownst to me, not long, a few years before that, I never told anybody, about what I had captured on another investigation I went on. And it was like a fluke. I went to this gentleman's home just outside the town of Moxahala, Ohio. And I told him, I said, yeah. I said, you got a Bigfoot that just went through here. And he said, you sure? And I said, yeah. I said, you don't have any farm animals, do you? And he said, no. I said, well, that's the reason why. I said, he just come through your property. I said, he probably went down there to your old, corn crib or something, and, picked around or something, but he probably spent the night in the barn and took off. He ain't down there anymore. And I said, but yeah, you got a Bigfoot and a youth, not a real big one. And when I got done with the investigation, we were standing there talking, and this gentleman pulls in the driveway. I guess his old friends, and he said, well, hey, guys, why don't you tell us down here your story? And so I heard it. He let me come out to his property, and I took a little, around to his property and see where something's been heavy going through there. And I said, well, okay. I said, well, you don't mind doing an investigation on your property, do you? And he said, no, go ahead. It was right at the end of January, going into February, right in the middle. I spent 2 days in a ghillie suit, buried out on the ledge hill, in briar thickets and buried deep, basically. 10 feet in front of my leg was an 8-foot drop off, and next thing you know, the path goes it's 10 feet in front of me. It drops off on an 8-foot ledge. It goes around the mountain and all the way around and drops down to the bottom of the hill and way down at the bottom to this guy's farmhouse. And on the second day, 7:10 in the morning, freezing rain, I hear him come. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get the best. I hear it go again. I'm going to get the best Bigfoot video. Again, I'm like, damn, here we go. I'm laying there, and I'm almost getting an eye cramp, but like I can't look over to the right, and I'm looking as hard as I can to see this thing come up. And when I saw it, I went, damn. Immediately, I went through a million thoughts on research, and it ended up. I knew what the critter. I believed to know what it was. It wasn't a Bigfoot. It wasn't a grass man. It wasn't a gugwe. The research I done on this critter dates back to 1730s with Daniel Boone. They've got it in the memoirs. The wagon train that they were bringing the settlers into the fort, the last people on the wagon train were attacked. They said it was this thing came off the mountain, knocked them off the covered wagon, and was attacking the gentleman. And the woman or the daughter or so got a big rock and was trying to beat this thing off her dad or whoever. And some of the people on the wagon train knows what was going on, so they came running back and they got this thing off of him. And they said, "What in the fire was the thing?" And they said, "Well, they know. Right off the bat, they must have ran on the Bigfoot quite a bit back then because." They said it definitely wasn't a Bigfoot. They said it was a multi-collared giant man beast with a dark clay face. Down his nose, halfway down his nose, it tapers off into his cheekbone. And he's got a big mouth, right, and he's got little ears on the side of his head. The immediate thought that went through my mind was, he's known to attack man. And here I'm laying there. He comes walking right out in front, and you seen a couple of the video. Heck, he stopped right in front of me, 10 feet, standing down on an 8-foot ledger. I got from about chest up. Excellent facial shot. When the clouds covered the sun, he looked like a black and white picture. He blended with all the bark and the sticks and stuff like that, the dark stuff. And next thing you know, as soon as the cloud goes away from the sun, just a little bit, his hair like starts to light on fire, like luminescent, like lighting up. The most beautiful colors you ever saw. All the colors of the fall leaves. He got all the colors of the forest. Immaculate. I've never seen anything like that either. And about 1 inch or so, at the end of the tip of his hair, I saw it was translucent. I could see through it. And my wife worked as, at the time, activities director. My wife, Diana. I went over there one day to see her at work, and I was showing some of the old folks in there some of the pictures I had. And that guy goes, "Yeah," he said, "you ain't got no picture of the Howler." And I'm like, "Yeah, really?" And I just did a test with him. I said, "Well, what about this one?" I showed him a picture of the Bigfoot, and he goes, "No, yeah." And this guy's like 90 years old, and I showed him another picture, a picture of the grass. "No, that's not it." I showed him a picture of this gugwing. But see, I didn't name this thing because I left that up to the public, Todd. You name it. What is this critter? I'm asking the public. That's why I didn't post on it. I'm not going to put a finger on it. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say I know what it is because I don't. And but anyway, this guy, a gentleman, I showed him a picture of the gugwing. He said, "Nope." And when I showed him that multicolored hair, he bellered out, yelled in the adult taker. But he yelled for his wife. You know, "I just yelled, oh my God!" And when his wife came over, she saw it. She was, "That's him," and she started crying. They were both hugging one another. And she goes, "I can't believe that you got a picture of this thing." And I said, "Well, I guess it's really hard to get one. I guess he's really the most elusive critter on the planet because the research that I've done on him, last time they ever heard anything from him or eyewitness reports was in 1700. Until just until 1993, as far as the research that has taken me, if a person types on the phone the Ohio Howler, they'll hear a dog bark and they'll hear this thing howl. The Howler, and as you can tell, it's played on a loop, just one call, and they're saying it's historic. Okay, I'm like, really? Historic? Wow. Well, I've captured 3 or 4 of them bellowing back and forth in the mountain, and exact match to the call that this one does, that they're saying is historical. Not only that, I got a live video of the critter. Now, if that one call is historical, what would both of these things make it? But like I said, it wasn't meant for the public, and everybody wants to see my stuff. A lot of people talk about me, and there's people, when I came back from the forest, to explain when I say I come back from the forest, I've been in the forest. I went there 5 years ago into the national forest cabin to. I'm a retired percussionist and as well, and I was writing background music for game consoles for Atlantic Records. And doing that, I'm composing music and everything. And so when I'm done doing that, I pack my gear and walk right out the door, and I'm right in the national forest. So I usually get about 4,500 yards out. And some of the things that I've captured in the 53 years and all the years I've been doing it, there are beasts out there, Todd. And rather than announce, I will send here down the road. I'll send you some recordings of these things. I sent you a recording of the Dogman blast that he does, wherever Howler, and I sent you some recordings of the Southeastern High Bigfoot as well. The point here, not what did you think of that thought, is
Yeah, let me see if I can find that and play it real quick. Hold on just a second here.
Okay.
See if I can. Here we go. Let's see if this. That was one of them. I'm not sure which one that was. Here's another one. Weird.
Wow.
That's like I said. I was going to ask you, do you have a way when you get the recordings? Do you have a way to measure the dB on that? I'm kind of curious.
I don't know if I do or not, to be honest with you. But I could find somebody that could, I'm sure. Here's the Dogman roar you sent me. Let's listen to this one.
Wow.
Something. And then you also sent the video of the Dogman creeping around your campsite.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too. In the video that I shot, did you see his tail go up and down and his hawk on his leg?
You know what? I have not yet, because I told you I was going to watch it on the big computer screen, and I haven't done that, but I'm going to. I'm going to send this to Brian right now too, so he can get a chance to look at it. But we'll post that one on the group page too when we release your episode.
Yeah, we'll put on this one.
On the counter, on the clock that you see on the screen, it'll say when it gets to 3:41, you'll see the step, the first step at the corner of our cabin, but you won't see the second step. But you'll see the first step that's shining with the light, and you'll see the edge of our cabin right there along with the first step. When you see our neighbor's camper in the film, just look up from the neighbor's camper, and there's one branch just above his camper, thin up there. When the Dogman who watches the counter at 3:41:38, look at the top where that sticks at, but go to the corner edge of our cabin. He peeks his head right around and looks right at the camera.
I remember watching that one too and seeing you can see his shadow moving against the what do you call it? The yard
backdrop
there.
of our neighbor's camper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his shadow blocks out the whole entire area over there. His head just takes up the whole back end of his camper, 8-foot camper. But
you sent us Dogman prints too, and we'll get those on there. You sent us quite a bit of stuff actually, which is really cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask your partner. Have you got to see my pictures and heard the stuff?
That's the first time I've heard the recordings, but I have seen the pictures, or some of them anyway.
So what's your opinion for what you're looking at?
I haven't ever seen anything like that before. Those are very interesting prints. Cass.
Yeah. I want to retire out of the field, and because my legs are going to fail me for one, from a military injury. I want to teach wood talk and teach people, just if they don't know anything about the woods. I do that. I'm doing that already in Hocking County. I have people meet me at the Logan County lake there. I take them on a walkabout, and they sure are surprised what they're seeing. And I'm not proving it to anybody. I tell them, come and see, and prove to me that you don't exist. And you'll see the tracks. And the last group that I had out there that I was teaching, they got to see clear as a bell, right in the middle of the path going all the way there. Not just one, a few of them, 11 by 11 inch Dogman tracks going right through the forest there, plain as day. And I had a young one with it. That was really neat to see when you're taking a group out to teach. And like I said, there's several symbols. I was going to have my wife send you what some of the wood talk symbols look like out there on paper. I'm not going to give the answers to them, but I will. At least the public can see these symbols. And I'll tell people what some of them are. I'll tell them on structures you see normally when you just walk into a forest. They're pretty blatant right off the bat if there's any Bigfoot at all in there. Signs that say he's over to the left, you stay to the right type. And then there's directional markers too, as well as a stick leaning against the tree. Like I said, there's I can't get hardly. I couldn't find a partner for the longest time because they knew where I went. Some of them did, and they wouldn't go in there. I wouldn't say not because they were afraid or anything, just because it's deemed as the number one place in the county where people go missing. And I've done work on with the detective agency. I found items out there, and out of 53 years, I've actually opened 3 cases on a totally missing person, nothing found, and I found an item, and but they won't tell you who the person is or anything. They just said, "Hey, really appreciate it. That reopened the case for now." It makes it worthwhile. And like I said, it's a hobby. A lot of people forget about that. They take it too serious, like a business. You can't see my stuff. Okay, whatever. Here, you can see all what I got. I'm not jealous. I used to be, but not now. And the public should need to know what's out there, and not just the Bigfoot. He's not really hurt you. The only reason why a lot of times I've heard people. Before I go any further, back to the I interrupt here, but back to the other ports on. I went down there to write music for Atlantic. I've been at the cabin 5 years. I haven't watched television or listened to a radio in that time period. And have tons of witnesses to prove that too. And I'm an extremist when I go out there. And I tell people, they're like, "How do you get these pictures?" And I go, "Well, you got to go to hard things to get hard picks." Somebody asked me one time, "What about the achievements in this, Rachel? What is achievement to you in this?" And I go, "A lot of damn hard work, buddy." A lot of times when people, when I tell them when you're looking for Bigfoot, look at the place where you don't think he's going to come through. About 9 times out of 10, that's where he went. I've seen places where even the Bigfoot use up to 400 or 500 pounds. When they look over a hill and there's nothing but briar thickets and giant briars and just weeds and everything, they take a run for it and they roll into a ball and they just crash through it just like a cannonball down through there. I haven't heard them a bit. It's amazing. You walk up and you see a big swath that went down through. Wow, what opened that? Well, it's Bigfoot rolled down through there, just smash it down to get through there and to get where he's going. But they don't like to leave tracks. Kane Michaels asked me to come over to his home not long ago, and we was walking up his driveway, and I had the wildlife photographer with me as well. And I said, "Hey, Kane." He said, "Yeah." I said, "What's that piece of bark going over there?" And big piece of bark laying up there in the tree, up there on the ground on the trees. I said, "Oh, there's a piece of bark, Rich." And I said, "We have to go over and take a look at it." I said, "Really?" I go, "Yeah." I said, "Because that's sugar maple. It was sugar or water maple. I can't remember which one. In a pine grove thicket. That had to be placed there." And sure enough, walked there, picked it up. There's a Bigfoot track underneath it. He used that bark to cover his track.
That's pretty smart.
Had an eyewitness to prove it. Yeah, took a piece of bark, covered up his track. Because sometimes if they're paying attention a lot, they do not like to leave tracks. I poured that one track of the alpha male, and he saw me. That's the only time I ever got not growled at. It was like a ground burst of I can't explain it. It hit me from like down below my chest down, like a comes through there like a it's like a sonar thing. I can't remember. Again, I ain't gonna try. And he knew what I was doing. He knew I was. He knew that when he went through there, when he walked the other end of that forest line over there looking at me, he knew what I was doing. That's why he did that. I ripped that track out of the ground, broke one pill off doing it on an alpha male, 24-inch track, 11.5 inches wide, 1.5 inches deep. I gave that track to Todd Poling, my wildlife photographer, because the first time he got to see, 1 year exactly on our anniversary that I brought him in on this, he got to see an alpha male Bigfoot at Kane Michael's house, 95 feet from his deck across the driveway. Security light triggered. We don't know if it was a bird or a bat or a bug or something, but if that didn't trigger, we'd have never saw him. When it went off, it was like oops, caught him with your pants down. He was just standing there, and I was just taking a drink of water. When I turned and saw it, you can ask the photographer. I had water shooting out my nose. I'm going, I had to lock, yelling at him, and he looked and he said, after he saw it, he looked at me and he said, Richard, I swear to God, he said, I'll tell you right now, I will never look standard again. Because all the time he's been with me, I brought him into this. I told him, don't look standard, Todd, because you won't see. And standard is like looking, when I tell you to look, don't look at the height of deer. Tilt your head back. And he knows that now. He said, Richard, I said, when I looked to the right, he said, I'm sorry, I looked standard, but he goes, all I saw was two big, black, round, heavy tree stumps. He said, when I started looking, he was like, oh, God. He saw for like 1.5, 2 seconds, and the light kicked off. And right after that, rocks started come flying in on Kane's house from northeast and south and west, pelting his house. And at the time, I was there with the movie producer at Kane's house, because I asked Kane graciously if we could film at his home, because he's got a beautiful log cabin home, a beautiful place, and he has Bigfoot activity there too as well, big time. And so I asked him if we could film here. I said, well, sure, Richard. Okay. And I said, while we're filming, I said, I'll have a movie producer film you as well on your sightings out here as well. He said, great. That's okay. While Kane was in the house with the movie producer filming, that's when the security light outside triggered off when me and Todd was outside, and they interrupted the documentary is going on Kane, and we hollered at him, get out here. We went out, and lucky when we did, because actually on the film, you can see a rock come flying in, and they're still throwing rocks, and Kane went around the side of the house, and he caught it on FLIR. He caught it going just over the whole body, and just for a second, and it went over the hill on FLIR. He caught the whole body. He made the measurements, and it's quite big. And we're all happy about that. But who would have thought? If I wouldn't have asked Kane if I would have done filming somewhere else, we wouldn't have had that experience at Kane's place. I thank him for that. Todd probably thanks him too. And Kane's just ecstatic because that's just another little bit of the evidence out there that he can prove that he has Bigfoot activity on his property, and he has an alpha male there. Like I said, I got a couple of gifts for you guys if you want, and like I said, invite you out to the cabin if you get a chance, and y'all don't have to get a hotel or motel room, and we'll spend the night at the cabin and just go out in the middle of the forest, national forest. It's right there, and
yeah, we definitely take you up on that. That sounds like a really good time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'd love to learn from you. That'd be great.
And take you guys to the pit.
The good old pit. Yes, the pit.
Yeah, when I took Kane Michaels down there, he was a Bigfooter at the time, and he wasn't expecting actually what I poured out of the ground. And when he saw that 3-clawed pad thing, I just put a whole different perspective, because I told him, I said, you're going to find Bigfoot here, and hopefully the grass man, the dog man's here, ET's here. And I said, you're also going to find tracks of unknown origin. I have found tracks of unknown origin pretty near all my life down in there. I can't explain it. I don't know what you just have to see. And some of the tracks, I'll be sending you more pictures of tracks. And
okay.
When you see these, like I said, you have no answers. I literally have no answers. I know that 6-clawed human foot thing builds a structure out of whole trees that it's only about 6.5, 7 feet tall. And it's a fake structure.
You're listening to the Cryptid Creature Show with Todd and Brian. We're glad you're here, and we hope you're enjoying the show. Don't forget to visit our website at www.cryptidcreatures.net. By becoming a member, you'll get access to exclusive videos, members-only episodes, early, unedited, ad-free releases, and even a shout-out on an episode. Join us at www.cryptidcreatures.net, and thank you for supporting the show.
Because I know, because I did research on it and tracked it. He built that, and 35 to 45 yards away from it, he's got one little straight line bead. He's bedding down, watching what he built. Like he's waiting to get the drop on something that's trying to get the drop on him. That was plainly, just as you could see it. And like I said, there's weird things going on out there, and things getting a little too hot for me. On some critters, so I'm not going out as deep as I was. I've already been chased up 2 trees. I don't know what the hell the critter was. It was pitch black.
Wow.
I come crashing out of one tree and cracked the side of my face.
Yeah, you got to watch yourself and take care of yourself out there. Be safe now.
Be careful.
Yeah. I also like to listen to the people. Well, your listeners and the public.
Yeah.
They have to understand. I want them to please understand. I only have researched and documented Hocking, Fairfield, and Perry counties only. Now, Bigfoot says that if you, I might have something correlation to what my stories might match something that you recognize or something. But the other people, they might say, well, he don't do that here. Well, maybe he might not do that there. But I can tell you what they're doing in 3 counties. And, because like I said, there's 3 males, 3 females, and 3 youths for each county here. And, the 2 youths, or the 3 youths that grows up, that's why they have a tight bond. When they're rung like that, they got the 2 males and the little female, they grow up together. Now, one of those males, is going to claim that female, but they don't do it. I've never seen any act of aggression at all on, the Bigfoot, on anything. From what I see, they settle things, by the, act of power and strength. Like that, like I was telling you, I wanted to see what that first youth did, but I didn't get there in time because, like I said, I was crawling down that hill like molasses going down that cold hill in January because I didn't want him to hear me. And, but I saw that second youth, as big as arms, the tree as big as arms, where you can make a circle with your arms that had blown down on a storm. He straddled that down and, stood over it, and he kind of leaned back a little bit, and he did one roar burst. And then right after that, I heard a bang crack. It was a boom, 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 boom. 5 hits. First hit was a bang crack, and when he got done, when he stand over, that tree was smashed flat in front of me where he's standing, where he straddled it. Like I said, he was claiming a female. I could see and that was a mid-youth. I could just see if what he could do if he was pissed off.
Oh, wow.
And not only what he could do, what could Dad do? He could grab a daggum school bus and throw somebody up in the trees.
Right.
Like I said, it's just most, it's like I got to witness just a few things unequivocal in my life.
We appreciate you coming on and talking to us and telling us these things. And we'll have to get you back on down the road and have you tell us some more stuff and maybe come pay you a visit and have you take us out and we can record that and make a little documentary or something out of it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't really mingle with the public at all because, my PTSD. And I just want to teach. And like I said, I'm going to expose the world and to the public my stuff. I'm not saying it's better than anybody else's. I want to share what I got. And if it blows you away, it's going to blow you away because it blew me away when I got it. I'm still not right here and there. I've had the dog man on my roof. He slashed both of our trees out in front of our cabin. He shot a urine across 3 bay windows, hit the sunroom, took a frontal bite out of our tree at 8 feet up, cleared the bark right into the white meat of the tree, and at dusk, the bite mark glowed. And then in the morning, my wife came in and she said, "You better get your ass out and look at this." I said, "I don't want to see no damn thing." I said, "I don't want." And she said, "Get out here." And when I heard the neighbor said, "Rich, you better get out," I went, "Oh, man, damn. What now?" And I walked out there, and there was woodpeckers tearing the where that thing bit and bored a hole clear through the tree and killed it. Only where he bit. And they bored a hole right through the tree. So all our witnesses prove it. The strangest thing you ever saw. But like I said, I got the live video, pictures, audio, video. I got journals of the wind, temperature, conditions, wind speed, everything. For 53 years. And I've got a ton of stuff. I like to educate the people. And if you believe it, you believe it. If you don't, you don't. It ain't my fault down the road that the non-believer that you come running out of the forest like an 18 squealer with your man panties full. That's not my fault.
You tried to warn them.
You know, I'm only educating.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so probably giving up ear sweat the last a week, huh?
Yeah. For this episode, we'd love to give you back on, though, to talk some more.
Yeah, definitely. Down the road, we'll do
Sure.
that.
I mean, if you'll have me.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah.
buddy. Will you take care, and we'll be in touch, and thank you again.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care of yourself.
I sure do appreciate it, guys.
All right, we'll see you.
Uh-huh.
Wow. That guy's experienced a lot there, huh?
Yeah, that was crazy. Wow.
David Walker told us about that pit and all that craziness that goes on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he offered to take us there if we wanted to come down and
And
see what it's all about.
That.
I'd be a little scared.
We still,
a little,
yeah,
I'd be a
I
little
don't know.
nervous.
Well, we'd be armed to the teeth.
Yeah. Definitely. Maybe someday we'll take him up on it. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Anyway, listeners, thanks for listening. As always, much appreciated.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you, guys. It's always fun.
Ryan, good hanging out with you again, my friend.
Always, brother. Always.
All right, let's get out of here.
See ya.